Welcome. It is, what is it? It's Friday, July 19th, 2024. This is Kraig Adams. You're listening to my podcast / stream / life update. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. Music might be a little too loud. I found that listening back to my old updates, music isn't really necessary, but I like to have it. So quiet, if anything. How y'all doing? How are y'all? Stream looks good. Everything's fixed. Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy Friday. Welcome. We've got some Thailand in the chat. Jeff says, became a new dad as well in March. Congrats. Nice, Jeff. Team dad, right? It has been nice. A lot of other new dads have been reaching out. And it is helpful when you hear advice or just solidarity from other dads, because I had no idea what to expect. But it's been good overall. You know, we've been dealing with it. I'm definitely like a deal with it as it comes kind of person. And my wife, Mika, is a plan and research beforehand. So I feel like those two opposites are meeting in the middle, and we're taking the best parts from each other's strategies. Yeah. Hey, Keith. What's up, Sam? Howdy. Dave C. from South Florida. How y'all doing? Welcome. This is going to be a chill stream. Got a little bit of music. We're on YouTube right now. But you also might be listening after the fact on Spotify. Yeah, I'm on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I believe. And then there's also the past live streams archive, pretty much a VOD on the YouTube channel. And I do my best to put chapters as soon as I can after these live streams end. And it's a lot of work to like go back through, try to parse my wild ramblings and put together some kind of chapter, clickable chapter on YouTube so people can go through. And I think this is the most helpful thing to see when you're trying to listen to a long form video podcast like this, a stream. Not really knowing what to expect, you know, you can kind of jump through as you're listening. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to keep doing that work for y'all. What's up, Alejandro? How you doing? Tobias from Germany. Kath, thank you for the congrats from New Zealand. How are y'all? So yes, I'm a new dad. I think Instagram. I just made a new post. And this kind of explains why things have been quiet for the past couple of months, if not year, you know, focusing on starting a family and all the things that come along with that. But this is the little man, Dean Aviv Adams, my son. Mika did so good. She's a great mom. It's been fun being dad. That's his boot face. But yeah, this kind of just puts it in perspective why things have been the way they have on the YouTube channel. I can talk about that. You know, I'm also just excited about things upcoming, and I'm getting back into the summer Kraig, excited to travel again. And the past 2 years have kind of been a dip. Less productivity, less travel, less uploads, less videos in general. You know, you can see it. It's very evident. But now that my son is born, I think it's the bottom of that productivity, and I think it's only going to go up, and I'm excited about that growth. Gonna try some new things. I have a good idea of what I want to do. when it comes to the video ideas, how to best spend my time and attention, how to involve other people if I do. Yeah. Michael, greetings from Cyprus. Awesome. Andrea from Maryland. Thank you. Eduardo's giving me some Colombia advice. Welcome to being a new dad. I have an 8-month. Nice. They grow up quick. Enjoy it. Yeah. We are trying to savor these little moments and realize that, you know, it does change fast. Bring that up a little bit. So yeah, what does the new year bring? So the last stream was 3 weeks ago. Thoughts after hiking alone in Brazil. I talked about that video, but people talked about whether they want me to do the behind the scenes in the video or just in these live streams. And I think a lot of people agree that I should bring them back to both. For some reason, when I go on a hike, what I used to do is do a behind the scenes guide and talk about all Kraig updates and whatnot. Pretty much everything that I would talk about in here, but at the end of the video. And I kind of stopped doing that, and I put all of that content in here because I thought it might be better, but I can do both. And I think that's where the thoughts have landed. So we'll see. A mazel tov from Brad. Thank you. Kit, big congrats from Michigan. Thanks. What's up? What's up, Alan? In Belfast. Thank you. Craig Adams, new gen. Yeah, that's what happens every year. I'm like, these are all the new things that I'll be doing. I think this is what I've been doing, and this works pretty well when I window it like that. Yeah. What's up, Aurora? Love the guide personally. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what everyone's saying, that they love the guides. It's a big part of why they watch the videos. It should be a part of what I do. I had no guide in the Azores, no guide in this. I tested a guide just separate for this and for hornstrand deer. Yeah, like a formal, precise, edited, outlined guide in these videos would make sense. And then I can talk about and answer questions in live stream format. You know, I think that works. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do going forward. Do an actual behind the scenes. But I also have another idea. A whole separate vlog, hiking guide, behind the scenes, shot by another assistant filmmaker on a trip. So we're going to talk about that, because that's an idea that I've been kind of mulling over. We'll talk about that in a sec. Toby's been following from the wedding days. Awesome. I think about wedding videos from time to time. How wild it was back then. Wedding film school days. Sarah's asking, when are we going on the group hike? This week has been a lot of planning that schedule. We're going to do a little bit of that on this stream. I'm going to be an open book and kind of talk about where I'm hoping to go and figure out what that schedule should be. I've got some ideas. We're going to talk about that real quick. But that is also involved with this assistant filmmaking idea. So I can travel in September, and starting then, it's going to be some international hikes, some domestic. Yeah, I've got some good ideas. So how can I bring that in? Hold on. I need to make a note, but also make it dark. It can't be very bright. I've got an invert. Hold on. There we go. Oh wait, I think I have a schedule. Yeah. Can I make this bigger? Okay, a little too big. That's good. So we'll figure that out. We're going to go through this. Where I want to go, what I want to do, who I want to involve, what videos I want to make, how I want to make the videos, what the goal of the videos is, how I make money from all of these things, and like my concerns. So what could go wrong? I've been thinking about all these things. Yeah, we're going to go through it. Hillary, enjoy being a dad. Congrats from Reno. Thank you. Mike, how's living in New York City? It's good. Love it. It's been great here. Can't wait to get back to be like doing more New York City, Brooklyn things with Dean and Sasha and Mika. Because, you know, the newborn phase has kind of just been about surviving. But we're about to start thriving. Reflect, would love to see one day your family hiking videos in a couple years future. Imagine to be growing up hiking sounds a goal of life. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be like formal videos on the YouTube channel in the way that I do my solo videos, but I'm sure we'll be hiking for sure. I'd come help film Kraig. I'm pretty relaxed, similar to you. Yeah. That's the goal, having people come help shoot, go on trips that are chill. So very possible. I was hoping Iceland would win because I love that. Oh yeah, and that's also something I wanted. Is there a way? Okay, it's in my messages, but I don't really want to share my messages like that. Hold on. I think I can get to, we're listening to lo-fi hip-hop radio right now, by the way. So where's my Instagram group? How do I look at it? Channels. There it is. Channels. Okay. So it's weird because it's different on mobile versus desktop, but I made a channel on Instagram, which is basically like a one-way Twitter thread. I don't know. It's kind of like just broadcasting updates. It's like a newsletter, kind of. People can react to things. You can do polls like I did here. This unsupported message was like a submit ideas based on a question thing, asking where we should hike and stuff. But I'm thinking about making this one of the primary locations for updates about group hiking trips or just hikes that you can join up on. And Strava, I'm testing out the clubs feature, and that's also going to be where I think I might make these updates. So I have one for running and I have one for hiking. I made this today, like a couple minutes ago. And I've been working a little bit with Strava, so you know they've been kind of coaching me through why I should be doing this and have this. But it kind of makes sense. You know, I'll probably switch it so that only my posts show up, so that it's not just like littered with a ton of posts. But if I do any hikes involving other people to join, like they would be here before, during, and after they happen. So say I go to Switzerland and I want to do, you know, there's a slot. I don't know. I'm just like doing a group trip to Switzerland and 15 people can join. I could make a post here and then also show the route, which is kind of cool. And then people could sign up for it. And then when I actually do the hike, I would record it on Strava and then also upload it so that it's here with photos and like pace and like video as well. So I just think this is a good start, a good idea. It has potential, but we'll see. Obviously it's going to take some time before I actually do the first hike to like show what it looks like. So we'll see. But this is kind of just like a newsletter about that. So similar in a way, but this is where I could ask for people's ideas about where to go, opinions, feedback on group trips, and etc. Because the group hiking trips is very much about community. You know, it's not just about me. It's like about the type of person who wants to go on these trips and just enabling them to pull the trigger. And then I have ideas about just making more videos about this idea, getting people together to do whether they're first hike, beginner's hikes, intermediate, advanced, whether it's subscribers who sign up through tickets to join these groups, or something like the Henry Golding trip that I went on. Like, if you think about it, this hiking Half Dome in Yosemite with Henry Golding was a group trip that Henry didn't have to pay for. Like, I gave him a free ticket, and it was like a one-on-one hiking session with me. So like seeing the similarity of this compared to maybe a ticketed one, like this Enchanted Valley hike that I did in Washington 2 years ago. So everyone who came on this bought a ticket and signed up. But you could imagine, like, I could do this one-on-one with someone based on what's going on. So I don't know. That's just like a mad rambling about comparing. All of these trips are kind of related, whether it's solo, with one person, with some friends in New Zealand, or a big group. Seeing them all under the same umbrella but in different buckets is kind of a good idea, like a realization I had, I guess. This is kind of crazy. That's what happens when I just rant on my own. Maybe it would be a bit better if I had some co-host to bounce these ideas off and have reactions to my ramblings, but we'll see. Congratulations, thank you. Just a dude loves lo-fi. Nice. I'm a father of 3 kids and would recommend hemp seat system. Heap seat system. Nice. Yeah, Mika's always looking for the next thing. Sean says, Kraig, how has parenting changed your approach to minimalism? With all the baby toys, gadgets, clothes, being a father of 3, it's a constant task, keeping the house clutter-free. Yeah, I've given up. It's not just about me. Mika's got good ideas. She does things differently than I would. And you can't just do it all. So it's just got to be teamwork, Yeah. And there's, like I said, we're different people, and we meet in the middle with all of the good ideas from both sides. And, she's been great for taking care of the baby and Sasha and just a lot of different things. So minimalism and my way is just not the best every single time. But yeah, we do definitely have fewer things than most people, just because we have a tiny space in New York City, in Brooklyn here. But with Dean growing and us acquiring more things like toys and chests and a place for his clothes and a play set and whatnot, we're definitely going to need more space. So that's definitely what we're trying to figure out next, where we're going to move, because we definitely have to move, and it's not ideal to be moving every year or every other year. We got to find a place. Aurora, do you think the days of going back to the camera will be over soon? No, I do still plan on making those videos. Traditional Craig Adams style videos. I have not ruled out shooting iPhone again. I'm definitely planning on doing more vlog style stuff with the iPhone. Especially with Switzerland coming up. This next trip, where is it? Right here. Yeah, so in September, Creator Camp in Switzerland. I'm planning on shooting iPhone travel vlog for the whole trip. Just because it's going to be chaotic, I want it to just be documentation of whatever I'm up to. And I think iPhone is the best way to do that. But if I do have time, I do have a couple days, I might do like a traditional solo hike on tripod camera in Switzerland somewhere. I could go in any direction. I think maybe out of Zurich. I'm not sure. But that also could be on iPhone. I love the idea of just shooting everything iPhone, honestly. iPhone and drone. Yeah. We'll see. Just the dude, I would love to go on these trips. Yeah, I'm trying to make it easy for people who want to join. So yeah, reverse engineering how people, so it's hard enough to get a group of people together who are interested in a thing. So getting a group of subscribers interested on going on a silly little hike with me, which is kind of ridiculous, but I love it. And then if I do launch one of these trips, there's only a handful of them. So I need to think of it in terms of marketing. Like I need to make it like an email list is a no-brainer, but I feel like this hiking group's broadcast channel is kind of like a better version of that, maybe. Because people who want to be notified can sign up. They understand what they're signing up for. And I'll have a link to purchase a ticket. But there's also different types of people who will be coming on these trips. Like I said, there's ticketed subscribers, and then maybe like other creators. I might like fund their ticket if they want to come on the trip, because they might like create their own video, and that definitely has value. If they're making YouTube videos or Instagram stories about the trip, that kind of is marketing for what I'm up to, because this is like a business. Like I'm definitely treating it as a business. So that's like a different bucket of customer, I guess, or just person who would join on these adventures. And it doesn't even have to be a hike. It could be a retreat. It could be lots of different things. I don't know. It could be an easy hike. It could be a hard hike. It could be a retreat. It could be a trail run. Yeah, I think hiking is like low-hanging fruit because that's kind of my niche, but it could be anything. I do love the trail running stuff, so definitely more of that in the future too. And then, yeah, someone like Henry Golding. I definitely went out of my way to like enable that for him, make it possible, and it makes sense, you know? It's just funny to think about. And then the behind the scenes. So people who want to help shoot the videos, I would probably, we'd have to figure it out, but like an all expense paid trip, like all expenses during the whole thing, for an assistant filmmaker who wants to join me, who passes the vibe check, is fun to hang out with. It's very important if I'm going to be with this person, not only on the hike, but the trip as well. But if this person like made a behind the scenes vlog that kind of took the place of the hiking guide, I think that would be cool. It's one thing to bring a person with gear and just say, make a vlog, capture everything. It helps if they have kind of a mission and a direction. And if they make a video, shoot and edit a video that helps someone watching know how to go on the trip, what to expect, and how to do it. So the places to and from, the food, the prices, just like all of the expectations that go along a trip. I think that would be really cool for them to shoot and upload to my channel as a separate video, with me as like the host going through this, but also including the other people on the trip if there are, and themselves. Because if I'm selling tickets for people to come on these trips, I'm hiring an agency to take care of it, and that's expensive, but I should offer different versions for different customers. So some people are willing to spend money to have everything taken care of. So they just have to get to a location, and then myself and my guides will do the rest, make sure they have a fun time and are safe. But the assistant filmmaker would kind of make a video for the people who want to do it on a budget, do it on their own. And a lot of times that's me. You know, I have been on both. I've been on a lot of solo, scrappy, cheap, do-it-yourself hikes, and I've also been on some bougie ones, like this Milford Track hike in New Zealand was expensive, but everything was just taken care of, compared to West Highland Way. You know, I just kind of went on my own and figured it out as I went. The self-guided ones are equally as fun as the bougie ones. So tasking an assistant filmmaker to make that video for that type of person, I think, is a good North Star. I think that makes sense, right? I think that would be good. And them having a good understanding of why they're there and what they're making, but then also giving them the freedom to craft it in their way, I think is what I would want if I was an assistant filmmaker going on a trip like this. Yeah. And then I can shoot my own thing, whether it's iPhone or silent hiking video or just Instagram stories. At some point, it would be nice to just enjoy and hire someone to shoot the videos for me in a way. But it'll be a gradual change probably as we figure it out. And I don't know if it's right to be the same person on all these trips coming with me for the next couple, or just try to find someone local or mix and match and kind of test out different filmmakers. But I think this is going to be fun. I have tried a lot in the past to work with people, editors, filmmakers, and it's tough. It's really tough. But knowing exactly what I want and keeping it simple, but also giving them freedom to do what they do best, I think is the way to go about it. So we'll see. Alejandro, did you hear that the government is trying to ban DJI drones because it's owned by a Chinese company? I don't know, man. They've been trying to get rid of TikTok too, so I have moved away from consuming the news as much as possible, to be honest. It's stressful. I don't need that extra stress. Important news finds its way to me regardless if I want it or not, so I don't really need to search it out. I think maybe having US-based trips versus an international trip would be a cool concept. Yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not opposed to doing both, for sure. Yeah, what? Did I have any marked? So I would like to, what was it, September, October? October, I'd like to do Pacific Northwest. Wait, Pacific Northwest, Jesus. Maybe Section J on the PCT would be cool. I think that's like what, a 3-day hike? Yeah, let's just research this real quick like. Snoqualmie Pass to Stevens Pass, 70 miles. That might be 16,000 feet gain. Depending on who I'm with, that would probably be 20 miles per day. Be 3 to 4 days. Yeah, 4, maybe 5 even. I don't know. But I think this would be fun and pretty straightforward. It would be difficult with the elevation gains, but the Alpine Lakes Wilderness area is gorgeous. It's gorge. I think October, depending on... Yeah, there's not going to be snowfall up here in October, right? Early October. I've driven past this. I've also hiked in the area near Leavenworth, And this area is gorgeous. I've always wanted to do this. And I feel like bringing some friends from the LA area, the West, to link up on this for a standard, definitely bear can style, right? Yeah, this seems like bear territory. I think the permits are pretty basic. It's more like parking permits in Northwest Forest, maybe. Yeah, it would be multiple days, but as long as we bring enough food and just keep moving, I think it would be totally awesome. So we'll see. I would love to do that in October. I need to do legit research for that though. And like I said, involving other Instagram or YouTube people from LA or the West Coast would be really cool for that. We shall see. Why won't you travel more in Asia? I've got lots of ideas to travel in Asia, but it's difficult compared to other options. I have the whole world available to me. So if it takes more money and more time and it's a more challenging location to hike because of culture or accessibility or infrastructure, you know, that drops it. So that's why I don't hike in Asia. It's more difficult and not as valuable, not worth it compared to where I'm starting in New York. I'd like to do anything. Nothing against it personally. But yeah, I've got ideas to hike in Kyrgyzstan, back to Nepal or India. Pakistan, K2 base camp would be cool. We'll see. Got to figure all this out though. Whether it's who I involve, what type of hike. The highest peak in Hornstrandir. Wait, no, highest peak in Iceland or Hornstrandir, Faroe Islands, July, in that area. Grouping these together would be cool. We'll see. In Brooklyn, Wild. My cousin lives, does Broadway. Nice. Ryan had my first on June 2nd. Wild ride. Nice to hear. Will, would you ever see yourself on a lifestyle block, like Decent Place of Land, out of New York, nature and space? Yeah, I could. It's half of what my wife wants, and I think we might try the city thing. I don't think it's the time to buy right now. So I think we have some time to rent and figure it out. But I'm not opposed to like actually trying a city life for Dean and us. I grew up in farmland. I had cows sneaking onto our property growing up and, you know, space to run. So I came up with that, but I also have fallen in love with the city and what it's like being here. I don't understand what type of kid you can raise in this environment, but I'm interested in finding out. We'll see. We tried out Colorado a little bit, but we're back in New York, obviously, for a reason. Ryan says, iPhone 15 Pro plus Blackmagic Camera app is very cool. I've tried, what is it, Moments? Blackmagic Camera app. Yeah, if like, so for dialing in more manual stuff, or maybe shooting on different picture profiles. Blackmagic. What is it? It's Blackmagic Camera app. I still just think it's easier just using the camera app that comes with the iPhone, because it's just quick. Like the iPhone is just nice because it's auto white balance, auto exposure. You can lock in the focus and the exposure if you want, but it's so smooth, especially on the wide angle. What would be, so get the Hollywood look. Great. What does that even mean? The Hollywood look means just like lighting things. Like that's what that means. So short film, record clips, dial in the white balance. That's kind of helpful. I do set the exposure globally down by at least a third, maybe 2/3 stop when I do shoot video on my iPhone, though I will say. Status, lens, frames per second, shutter speed, time code. All of this is redundant pretty much to what the iPhone already gives you, except maybe white balance. I'm just going to keep it simple. Good idea, though. Aurora, you can have people take iPhone videos on trip and use that as part of a vlog if those people are making videos themselves. It's more behind the scenes promo for this. Yeah, that's a lot of work because they have to have an expectation of like what is good footage, because a lot of people shooting a lot of random stuff, it would just be tough to call through. Not impossible, but time and effort by an editor to figure out what's valuable. Yeah. It is funny when I watch some reality shows. I think, what is it? Is it Love at First Sight or Marriage at First Sight? I think that terrible wedding show that my wife makes me watch. I think they give them GoPros or something, or maybe ask them to shoot selfie on iPhone every so often. And it is funny when they do that. A lot of it is just reaction, like, we just woke up, we blah, blah, blah. We just did this, we're here, we're feeling this, but that's just immediately what I think about when I'm like mixing formats like this. It's possible. We'd have to tell them exactly what to say. Will, I can send through some example footage Loom about how I could help filming BTS and for a vibe check. Yeah, so how would I pick the person to actually go on these trips with me? So there's cost. So where are they starting, where are they ending? Obviously flying someone from across the world to go to on a trip is extra cost if I'm paying for their flight. The hotel, the food, like the expenses for the trip is pretty straightforward. It's like if I'm paying it, I should be totally fine just paying that for someone else. So that's not really as much of an issue. If they do require like payment for video and edit work, that's totally understandable. But I feel like it would be something that they would grow into as they like demonstrate that they can do what they're doing. So I'm not opposed to that. As far as a portfolio, yeah, I should very quickly, within seconds, be able to see and know that they can film stuff and shoot stuff, whether that's an Instagram or YouTube or other people's videos that they worked on. You know, that should take seconds for me to get a sense of their experience level. Sometimes when they tell me like the gear that they have, that's like within 3 seconds, just looking at a list of gear that they shoot on, that tells me a lot about who they are as a person shooting. Yeah. Most of it would be just be handheld, wide angle, zoom lens, so it's stable type stuff. The quality doesn't matter as much as the context, you know, so showing the process. It's all about process. Like, how do we go on these trips? What are we doing? Drone work, audio work. Audio work would probably be also super important, right? Yeah. Because, like, I don't know if I'd want to be wired up. So probably shotgun stuff, but then also be able to know when they need to kind of do on-the-fly interviews with people. And ask questions, so put on the producer hat and know what questions to ask, right? So what, we're on a trip, we're hiking in Kyrgyzstan, we're doing a horse trek, and like knowing what kind of storylines to go down. So I've never been on a horse in my life, so that's something that we could hype up a little bit and make sure that we capture the first time that happens, and then also kind of talk to the other people on the trek about their experience with horses and why that's different. I don't, like, you know, there's just because you could shoot anything. It's like, what is interesting to watch? What advances the story? Like, why would someone want to go on a horse trek? What is it? What do people normally expect? And then what is it actually like might be like interesting. And then just showing the whole, like, how much time we spend doing stuff, what our emotions, our reactions to different events each day, and the food. And I think good documentaries, TV shows, travel shows are all about just reactions. Chef Gordon Ramsay is my favorite example of someone who can make a damn good vlog style TV show. Oh, been watching so much of that as a new dad, for sure. Hand out disposable cameras, have the assistant filmmaker consolidate and edit the photos into a video. Yeah, putting videos into a video, or photos into a video, though, I've never done that before. I've seen it a little bit. Yeah. Ever consider timberline on Mount Hood? That's funny. It's been done right here 11 months ago. You gotta stay current, Death Orb. I breezed through that trail. It was a good time. A solo suffer sprint sesh, running around that snow-covered peak. Definitely heard of early October snow there, but not guaranteed. Yeah. JJ's first child is due in January. Nice. Bears. Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji seems terrible to hike compared to all the other Japanese Alps. So that is one thing I didn't add. When would it be? I think June, July, August. So July might be Japan. July in Japan. I think it's hot then, right? I don't know. Maybe. But if we're in the Alps, Japanese Alps, it would be cooler. So finally hiking in Japan would be very, very cool. We've got some ideas for places other than Mount Fuji. I think I marked some trails around Mount Fuji. Everyone I've ever asked has always said the same thing. Don't do Mount Fuji, do around and just get the views. Which makes sense. This is Mount Fuji Trail, Yoshida. Yeah, I don't have anything marked, but you can see there's not the highest mountains, but there's some good ranges around. So yeah. Trying to combo as many of these summits and then also dipping down into the cities would be cool. Yeah, there's a lot of wilderness. Some nice ridges. Picture drone shot hiking on one of these exposed ridges with Mount Fuji pixelated in the distance. Yeah. I like that. But yeah, it would be fun to link up with other maybe Japanese hikers too. So we'll see. Ice Rider, sup? Kraig, long time. I used to binge your wedding film school content before you left New York. And now you're back in my feed and New York. Universe working magic. Nice. Kraig, you ever considered to hike in Nordic countries? Yes, of course. I've got a couple marked. It just doesn't happen. I don't know why exactly, but I haven't done the first one. A lot of these places I'm going to over and over again because it's easier to hike in a place once you go. So like Iceland is so easy to do. I've been to Reykjavik so many times, Switzerland so many times, Nepal, this would be the 4th time. Yeah, there's a lot there. I don't know. I kind of need like a little push to get out there. I had one other friend who's a creator invite me to do a hike in Sweden, and it almost happened, but I think I went and did the Tour de Mont Blanc instead. Yeah. I think this one, the King's Trail, maybe? I don't know. This seems super long. Well, 65 miles is not bad. But yeah, I've got a couple things marked in the areas. Nothing in Finland. Yeah, I gotta do more research up there. But I think I'd definitely go to Faroe Islands and Iceland before I go to Sweden next year. But hey, maybe I'll find a group trip and have... See, that's the nice thing about booking group trips through agencies sometimes. I have to commit myself to go. They make it easy. I just have to show up. And sometimes it's good when I have to publicly commit to going to a place. It makes it happen. I can't just like easily flake and back out. So I need to do a nice healthy spread of those hikes, commit myself and invite, do the whole group thing, because then I have to go. 50-50. Keep it loosey-goosey like this hike in Sweden. I can do whatever. Or Switzerland. Iceland's highest peak would be super easy. I don't have to commit myself that much to it. But a group trip to Hornstrandir would take some effort and some planning. Especially with a group. Congrats, Kraig. Very happy for you and your family. Hope everything's doing well. Thank you. Would the group trips be your usual 20-mile day? Any worry that some people wouldn't be able to keep up? Yeah, it's a good question. Not everyone is the same hiker. And from the group trips that I've done, it's a mixed bag. Unless you talk to them one-on-one, you can't expect anyone to just be able to do what you're doing. Yeah, I've had some people on trail runs and hikes have to kind of duck out because they either get sick or they just can't keep up, which sucks. That's my bad. I should definitely set expectations better or do screening better, because nobody wants that. No one wants to go all the way, commit, do the thing, and then not be able to do it fully. That would suck. It would absolutely suck. I couldn't imagine going on a trip with people and then having to go back to the city alone and not be able to enjoy and hang out with people. That'd be a nightmare. So I want that to happen less this year. So I'm going to do a bit more screening. And I think that trips that are organized through tours and actual companies, actual guides, I think are more budget or beginner friendly. And if I do trips like New Zealand with people that I know, it's much easier to know how fast they can go. And the Peru hike, the Cordillera Huayhuash in Peru, 80 miles. This was a good hike because our group was all fast people. So here we are, doing a little coffee cheers. So we had a good group of lads, and everyone keep up. Everyone was fast, and that made it much more enjoyable. No one ducked out. Everyone kept up. Everyone was in good spirits. And this was definitely, it was 6 or 7 days maybe. Long distance, really high elevations. That's definitely the kind of trail that you want, people who can keep up to do. Yeah. So I need to do better at setting expectations of what type of trip it is. So, for example, the Pacific Northwest, probably ambitious. I'm going to make sure it's going to be a handful of people that I pick. It's not going to be open tickets for subscribers. This will be a closed session. But it'll be medium advanced. ABC Trek, that would be fully taken care of. Basic in the sense that we're not going to we're going to follow their itinerary, and their itinerary is probably for basics, normal speeds, nothing crazy. Thinking about doing an Inca trail group with Vagabond in Peru. at some point. And this would be a good example of just super basic. Like, we're taking care of, they're bringing our food, they're taking care of us on the trip, and it's guided by an actual agency. So everything is, I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up and shoot some video. So that would be marketed towards maybe someone going on their first trip. And Inca Trail is definitely like a good ending to Machu Picchu kind of thing for beginners to do. The group hike in Kyrgyzstan would be extreme, so it'd probably be closed. Maybe one or two open to subscribers who can demonstrate that they've got speed. So maybe people from previous groups that I've like previous hikers that I've met and know can hang, I would probably invite. So that's cool. Faroe Islands might be just solo with an assistant filmmaker. And that's the thing, like the assistant filmmaker has to be able to hang, have to be able to keep up and go the speeds. So that's also part of the test. It's a pretty niche person, someone who can be chill, hang out, someone who can hang, go the speeds that I'm hoping to go on trail, and also make a video that can go on the YouTube channel and edit it. You know, I want this person to be able to shoot and edit the video because I feel like that's a strength. Makes the video better. Hornstern deer might be beginner if it's through an agency. We'll see. Japanese Alps would be closed, just a small handful of people that I invite. This August, Hout group. So this would like what? To a hike to Zermatt, a really famous mountain in Switzerland. This would be with Vagabond. Vagabond Trails. The good people over at Vagabond Trails. Yes. That would be a big group, maybe 15, 20 people, but also, you know, the itinerary would be very clear about how much mileage and elevation gain we're doing, which would be a lot, but nothing too insane compared to like what I'm doing on the Timberline Trail, absolutely killing myself in speed. Yeah, all four of these hikes, absolutely killing myself with speed. That's because I'm by myself. And then solo Alta Via 1 hike in Italy in September. Yeah. Long-winded answer. I need to get better at setting expectations about what type of person will thrive on these trips. And I plan on having different types of hikes, different types of trips for all different types of people. Yes. Aurora's excited for the new Hell's Kitchen season in September. Excellent. It's insane that he's still making them. He's got multiple shows. And I think you commented before when I mentioned it about him taking his shirt, being shirtless and putting the white chef coat on. I didn't know what you're talking about, but once I watched the old Gordon Hell's Kitchen episodes, I'm like, oh my god, he does this every episode. He's shirtless in every episode for no reason. So funny. Jacob, my first kid turned 18 months. Congrats, Kraig. Nice. Will is in Japan right now. It's crazy hot. Yeah. Let's weather spark. Tokyo, I guess. So this is how I learn about temperatures. Yeah. So July to September, it's hot and muggy. Makes sense. The comfortable times are April, May, and October. Yeah. I feel like spring, fall. Maybe we were talking about October. I can't remember. I feel like going in October would be the vibe. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, summer seems pretty hot there. But like I said, we would be in the Alps. It's a little cooler up there compared to the city. Yeah. Bernard, have you been to the Amalfi Coast? No. I've just done Italian Dolomites and Venice. I've never done elsewhere, but I do plan on going to Rome and whatnot. Sicily would be cool. Amalfi seems too expensive and just too crazy, right? I don't know. This is the Amalfi Coast. Can I just switch to explore? Amalfi. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes coast trails are not as interesting as going through mountains, I've also found. Sometimes coasts are just the same kind of view over and over again, which is a weird, you know. I'm sure there are some nice coast trails, but yeah. Drew Does is saying, getting around Amalfi is such a pain. Makes sense. A lot of tourism, so many windy roads, one-lane roads, and crazy traffic. Yeah. The idea would be to walk as much as I can and just have a start and an end. But yeah, I get what you mean. Probably very droneable, but I don't know. Is there, like, does anyone know any good Amalfi Coast? Hike. Path of the Gods. It's definitely been done. Most crowded hike in Italy. Wow. These are funny. I do want to see people complaining about this. This is doing it dirty, but I don't know. I get the sense that where is it? It's like here, right? No. Right here. I don't know. Something like this, probably right here near Naples. I get the sense that if I went pretty much there are probably very similar areas like that in different areas that are much less well-known and crowded. So it's a balance of how can I find the least amount of people on a trail with great views and doesn't drive me crazy. Yeah. Possible though. I'd have to do more research or have some kind of crazy incentive to do so. West of Ireland is great if you have time to do with the weather. West of Ireland. I was reflecting on the Scotland hike that I did spring, early summer last year and how much fun I actually did have. So the west of Ireland. I gotta go to the explore mode. I hate that it always goes back to. Let's boost the length. Let's set the activity to hiking. Let's set the elevation gain up a bit. And what remains is probably something I might want to hike. The Western Way. Lauderg. Some great names. 113 miles. Yeah, where are the mountains at though, right? Probably Northern Ireland? I don't know. I just need people to like tell me the answer. And some nice loops. Letterkenny. Yeah, I would have to find the mountains and the elevation gain. I wouldn't want some like farm sheep farm hike. This kind of might look, and I can't be on a road. It's got to be a trail. So this right here, this is a no-no. Yeah, I don't know, man. Danny, can we start from the beginning? Yeah. Kraig needs a mini Kraig Adams, aka Dean. Oh, to be the assistant filmmaker? You should hike in Canada again if you can. Man, I've said it for years. I need to do Glacier National Park. Before I even consider Canada, I gotta do the beautiful low-hanging fruit that is Glacier National Park in the US of A. I think I inquired a couple weeks ago about a tour. So I think I might see, I've done a little bit of research, and I think that if I go a little after the season, but before the snow comes, if I just go there and get the permits in person, because it's really difficult to get the permits to do the multiple day ambitious hikes, the backpacking permits that I'm trying to get in Glacier National Park. If I go and just do walk-up permits and show up early and just figure out what I can do, it's possible. But I also kind of want to just book with an agency, a tour guide, and just go with a small group and just know that I can for sure do it if I fly all the way there. But Glacier National Park is gorgeous. I think it'd be such a fun thing to hike. A lot of bears, a lot of like actual glaciers in the US, which is rare. And sadly less and less, but still. This is one of my favorite national parks. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I gotta do it. I gotta just go. So if I do the Pacific Northwest and then Glacier in October, that would be sick. Please, gotta make it happen. Also, October is been really wanting to do that. Palm Springs, right? Yeah, that would be sick. Alejandro. Wait, no, I skipped it. Hold on. Lafas. Can you make a new digital minimalism video now because you're free? Wait, no. Now because free Google photo backup is gone. So, yeah, I'm not using Google photo backup anymore. What I'm doing is I'm paying for iCloud. I think I switched mostly to Apple products, and I'm paying for it, and I'm happy. I don't worry about it that much. And when I was shooting iPhone only, it was so nice to have the space. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know if you have any specific digital minimalism questions. I'm definitely less interested in that topic overall because it just doesn't matter as much. Like, the less that I have to worry about that stuff, the better. So I don't mind paying a little extra money to just focus on more important things, I guess. Like, when I was back doing the nomad travel and digital minimalism videos and even talking about minimalism in general, it was kind of insane because I was just like spending so much time thinking and organizing, and having diminishing returns on just like worrying about all these things. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. Alejandro, would love for you to do a hike with Jupiter Hikes. The podcast you did with him was great. Yeah, I think that would be fun. He's definitely like a legit hiker. I'm more of a, well, we both make videos, we both hike, but I think he knows what he's doing more. He's faster and more experienced. Way more miles on me. So I think he would have to invite me to something that he thinks I can do. Like, I don't know if I could just join something he's doing. It'd be much easier for him to join something I'm doing. But yeah, I'm down. It'd be cool. It'd be fun to do like a group with him with other people. Not that I wouldn't want to do like a solo one-on-one, but I feel like it would, like a group of actual hikers with him would be a fun thing. Like maybe Elena Osborne would be cool to join something like that. I'd feel more comfortable with that. YouTube insights from a business perspective, future ideas, plans for YouTube revenue. Yeah, so I'm still doing great with AdSense. I just need to make more videos and keep doing that to keep that engine moving. Lately, AdSense has been fantastic with these long-form ambient silent videos, but to make these, I need these like individual videos. These individual trip to Azores, trip to Brazil, trip to New Zealand are all chapters for these big videos that are the real money makers. So I need to travel. Need to keep doing that. Attaching sponsorships to these individual videos is important, but not as important as selling tickets to group sales in the future, I think, probably. And having the behind the scenes videos from assistants would help. Maybe more videos. I still plan on doing these live streams, but it's just to drum up interest for other things and share insights and behind the scenes more than make money. Yeah, I'm also doing more shorts and reels on Instagram that are paid as well. But I think they're like in the future, I'm definitely switching to more of selling tickets. Almost like I'm a musician going on a tour. I think that's the realization that I've had these past couple of days. That if I treat these hiking trips as if a musician treats a tour, so planning out a whole list, an itinerary, selling seats and tickets and access to that in different ways with ticketed subscribers, behind the scenes, other creators, etc. And sticking to those, that itinerary, I think is a good idea. And I can also sell merch associated to that tour, like that season of hiking. I could focus a lot of my own ads to my own stuff, like marketing that instead of selling random ads to other companies' products and services. The more that I can make ads on my own content about my own products, which is selling tours, selling tickets, I think is better for everyone. Yeah. Hawaii. I looked at Hawaii. Sebastian, congrats. Have you ever looked at the Asha Canada? Definitely shoot me the AllTrails for those at some point. I'm happy. So, ideas for hikes overlapping with ideas for videos, because my videos are hikes mostly. but some way to just have people send me ideas for hikes and trips. See, can people add? Would it be insane to make a list on AllTrails that's public? Public. The list is viewable, but can people add though? Is that an option? Edit. Collaborators. Viewable. So what makes someone a collaborator? Oh. Anyone with this link can edit the lists and invite more collaborators. Huh. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's a good idea. It would be good to get suggestions. But I don't know. I don't know about that. It would be cool if, because I have this favorites list that's kind of private to me, but I can also share it and people can see it. I wish people could add suggestions, but I can approve them or not. So they only show up on the list if I approve them. But then that would just be like an onslaught of random stuff. It would take so much effort to go through, which isn't impossible, but yeah, because I like getting suggestions. A lot of the best hikes that I've been on have been suggestions from y'all. So you have good ideas, but it's hard to know what's worth actually running down and researching. What I need to do is hire a researcher who does this for me and a trip coordinator who plans the trips that are good. And I need to hire a videographer and an editor to go with me on the trips to shoot and edit this behind the scenes video. And I also need to hire another editor who can edit short videos and micro content from all of these long form videos that I'm making. But if I've learned anything, it's a bad idea to hire a bunch of people quickly. Yeah, we'll see. That's kind of what these streams are going to be. It's just me saying what I need help with and then having really a hard time pulling the trigger on testing these things in the real world. Will we get Kraig and Glacier before GTA 6? Okay, so we do have an Ireland suggestion. Let's just Google this and see what comes up. First, let's look at images. It's green. Six miles. I've also realized that I should just do long trails. I've been doing an awful lot of overnight hikes, so like 1 to 1.5 days, and I need more footage. Like this was a day, an overnight. This was a couple nights, but slow. This was an overnight. This was an overnight with an extra day. Overnight, 2 days, overnight, multiple day. Yeah, the multiple day ones just have more footage, and yeah, I should just do trails that are long. Longer than 70 miles? 80 miles maybe? I don't know. Yeah. in my experience, it's very easy to do day hikes in Glacier if you drive in before the gates actually. Multi-day camping is where it gets hard. Yeah, so I've done day hikes in Glacier. And if you wake up early or get shuttles or carpool, yeah, totally possible. If you bike in, even better. But I want to do the entire traverse. I want to do the 6-day 100-miler across the entire thing. That's what I want to do. I want to get into the boonies, the real outskirts, away from the really famous, what is it, Skyline or whatever? Skyline? Which is gorgeous in Glacier, but I want to do it. I want to do all of Glacier in one video, one trip. That's what I want. Go hike somewhere in Indonesia, South Africa, and Bhutan. Yeah. Time to sell your soul to outdoor brands through your channel. Will you make a video on how you plan, shoot, and edit your video? Would be helpful for a beginner like me. So yes, I've done so in little ways here and there. And these live streams are the place to answer specific, or the place to ask specific questions if you're wondering anything. I show the process through the hikes and the trips. The gear videos give an insight into that aspect. And then the hiking guides and the behind the scenes, I think, shines some more light on how I did these trips. And then what I used to do is I've always been doing like Kraig News updates, behind the scenes, talking videos like this. They used to be called like life updates back in the day. And then I started putting them at the end of videos, right? I have an end. Yeah. So I have a guide at the end here. And here I not only talk about how I did these things, but also why, from like a video business aspect as well. So it's there. But with these assistant filmmakers on these trips, they would be tasked with making a actual video with all of this. So I think that would be good. I think there's demand for that if you're asking that question. And I think satisfying, like there's a lot of value in making videos for people who want to go on these trips and make videos. So there's, out of anyone who watches my stuff, there's different buckets. There's the biggest group, which is maybe people who want to watch these hikes and learn more about them, but might never ever go on them, might never do them. And then smaller than that, there are people who watch these videos who want to go and do the same trip and have a similar experience. And then there's, within that group, people who want to go and make videos similar to me or in their own style. So satisfying all these different customers of people who show up, is kind of where my mind is at. They want different things. They stay around for different reasons. I need to produce and package and sell different products to these different customers. And y'all here on this live stream are a very niche subsect of those audiences. So congrats to you. Like, this is probably the place to get the closest authentic, understanding of what's going on in my mind about all of this, the business aspect, but also the personal aspect, me as a person. Like, am I enjoying this? Where's my focus? What are my own personal strengths and weaknesses at different points? What are my concerns? What are the risks that I'm taking as far as these videos and these trips and this business, putting myself out here on social media? That's kind of what this allows more so than the main videos. And like the vlogs have a lot of personality, but I'm not really explaining much. I'm not really answering direct questions. So it's interesting to see them all under the same umbrella in different categories, I guess, like the videos that I make and just the things that I create and share with y'all. Yeah. Edit to my last question about bear spray. Yeah, Alaska video. Just watch that video. You'll see some bears. Kraig gonna become Trailer Swift. Geez. You could open a Google Forms to take suggestions. Yes. So that would be like an Excel spreadsheet that I could go through with all the answers, but that kind of already exists in the form of chat here, and also anyone can message me. So I'm not stopping anyone from sending me a link. It's more so like what I put out. So for me to make a Google form suggestion box for hikes would require me to let people know that that exists. And that would take me making posts on Instagram, YouTube, or videos, stories, TikToks, whatever, to market that to the correct person within my audience who would actually want to do that. And then I would still have to do the work of figuring out what of those suggestions are helpful or not. So stuff. Yes. Many of the multi-day hikes in Ireland are not on AllTrails. Shit. I don't know. I would have to do research, but I suspect that I would enjoy a couple hikes in Ireland. But I would say, personally, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between hikes in any of this area. I'm sure the fjords on the coast are different than this coast, but in essence, hiking in Scotland or Wales or Ireland, east, west, north, south, seems similar to me, or Isle of Man. So if I have to pick one hike from all of these options, would probably go back to Scotland. It just depends on what I'm looking for. Like, am I looking for like that? That's why it's difficult. I have the entire world to pick from. I can't do them all. I don't want to do them all. I don't want to do a lot of them. So it's really hard to pick where I hike. It's a huge problem. I need help. I need people to give me specific reasons, but on top, like specific trails to do. But on top of that, I need luck. I need like people to bring to the table specific opportunities to do things like out of the ordinary. Because like I could just go on my own to hike any of these trails, but if someone had some kind of connection or involvement or opportunity, I don't know. Old man story, that's what everyone talks about, right? And it's tough because I get a lot of suggestions and they are great trails and I'm sure they would make good videos, but people don't realize that it's being compared to every other trail. I need to pick the season, the distance, how I combo it with other trips, whether I involve other people. Yeah. Hopefully I've tried, but I hope to do a better job of showing the difficult part of what I do, which is the research and figuring out where to pull the trigger on which handful of trips I do each year, you know. Okay. Dean is calling. Guys, it has been great chatting. How long has this? An hour and a half. It's a little short. I would like these to be 2 hours, but this has been great chatting with y'all, trying to figure out where and why I want to hike for next year, talking about the assistant behind the scenes filmmaker, talking about the bucketing of different customers on the channel and people who would want to go on trips and what that would look like. yeah, all good stuff. I love talking through this. It helps me to answer these questions because you guys are asking questions that are exactly the type of thing that I'm wondering. So I'm grateful to have you guys hanging out, watching. And the more that you interact, the more you ask questions, the more you like just show to me that you care. It gets me moving. It gets me, it helps me to know what to talk about if you point me in the right direction. So to those who ask questions during the live stream, and also if you're listening to this on the podcast with audio, figure out a way. And if you're watching the archive on YouTube with the chapters, hopefully that's helpful. But for sure, leave a question or just some kind of direction to point me to do more or less of, so that I can make this, because I'm doing this for you. I used to do just like solo rants, and I could very well just compile my notes, my thoughts, my concerns, and then just record this and edit out the gaps and just upload that. But I think it's a little more fun and helpful to have an audience and to have y'all chat engaging. So thank you. All right. I got to go take care of my son and eat some dinner, and then maybe go for a run and watch some Parks and Rec.